Hey everybody, it's Monday evening and it's 6:30 and I'm literally stuck in the office. It is absolutely raining cats and dogs in Durban and it's far safer being here than on the crazy roads. So I thought what I'd do is I'd use the time effectively and talk to you about using time effectively. And it's a session that I'm going to be doing with my agents in the morning, so it's a good time to practice. And here's the thing. Real estate agents, salespeople in general, you guys don't work for a basic salary. You're not an employee where you're literally swapping your time for money. You're not going to an employer and saying, here's my experience, here's my education, give me a market-related salary and I'll give you 8 hours of my day. Absolutely not. In real estate, every morning you wake up, you do not have a salary, it's you starting from go, most of you, and how you use your time effectively is going to determine how much money you make and how many sales you make. So let's go through 4 myths of time that I hear a lot from real estate agents. And the number one is that myth number one, you think you can manage time. Unfortunately, you cannot manage time. The truth is that you can only manage yourself and you can only manage the choices that you make and how to use your time during the day. So here's something that I'm going to speak to my agents about tomorrow morning. We're going to talk about planning. And I think planning your time accordingly starts the evening before. So if you can get into the habit of planning your day the next day and the evening before, even if you've got to take some time at home after hours, only take you half an hour, but what you want to be planning for the next day is you want to be planning prospecting activities. You want to have a list of people that you're going to contact. You want to have the number of people that you want to phone. You want to have their telephone numbers ready, and you want to have a couple of reserves or backup people in case you can't get hold of your top 5. You also want to be planning or scheduling admin time. So you want to be choosing quieter moments of the day where you can actually get to your admin. But if you don't plan it, you're never going to get there. And I think as well, also look at planning how you check your emails. Now, I know this sounds silly, but emails are a massive distraction during the day. And if you're constantly checking emails every 5 minutes, it's going to pull you in all directions. So a little tip is to check your emails only 3 or 4 times a day and then get to the most important stuff and actually action the tasks there and then. You know what it's like. If you read an email and you say to yourself, I'm going to do it later, you generally forget. So check your mails 3 to 4 times a day and then actually get into those tasks and finish them straight away. Myth number 2, I have to be available 24/7. How many of you feel like this? You have to be there 24/7. You have to drop whatever you're doing to meet the needs of a client. Now, unfortunately, this happens with a lot of people who are transactional in their mindset, where they're literally chasing deal after deal. What you want to rather do, instead of feeling that you have to drop everything for clients, rather have systems in your business, like a good CRM system, that's going to remind you to keep in contact with your clients on a very consistent basis. So if you're in constant contact with people and you're constantly giving them feedback, then they're never going to feel like they don't hear from you, and they're never going to feel like they have to get you there straight away. And as a real estate agent, you never want to get into the position where you ever feel that you have to drop everything for a client. You know, if you plan and schedule your day and you schedule your time, try and get people to fit into your schedule as much as possible. And I promise you, you're not going to have many clients that are going to drop you as an agent because you cannot get to them there or then. Because what's going to happen one day is you're going to be sitting at one of your kids' school concerts and you're going to get that phone call and you're going to disappoint your child because you're trying to keep a client happy. So if we have systems in our business that allow us to keep in contact on a consistent basis, we're never going to get into that position. So myth number 3, I'm the only person who can do it. And now the truth to that is that delegation is the one way that's going to really help you multiply yourself. This is a massive lesson that I learned through a business coach in terms of running or starting multiple businesses. I was trying to do everything myself. It was this control thing. I felt that nobody could do it like I could do it. But let me tell you, as soon as you open the taps and you start delegating, you watch how you multiply yourself and you're just able to become so much more effective and so much more efficient. Now, in this day and age, one of the greatest ways to multiply yourself is technology. We have so much available to ourselves. You know, we can literally be running our businesses on our cell phones these days. So use the new technologies, learn the new technologies, get a great CRM system in place, and then multiply yourself and stop thinking that you have to control everything because nobody does it like you. You may give up a little bit if you delegate to somebody else, but imagine the joy of being able to employ an admin assistant to do all your admin work, or to employ an assistant who does some telephone canvassing for you. So while they're doing all that work for you, you're out doing the most important things, which is making sales and meeting new prospects. And then finally, we're going to finish up with this. It's myth number 4. There's not enough time in the day. And I hear this so often. And let me tell you, I think this is just an excuse. It really is just an excuse to say, you know what, I actually didn't prioritize that today. And what I want to leave you with, because I think this is so powerful, I've started to try and use it in my life as well. Don't ever tell somebody, ever again, that you didn't have time to do whatever it was you were supposed to do for them that day. Rather tell them, I'm sorry, but I didn't prioritize you in my day. And watch how difficult it is to get those words out of your mouth. And where I started using it is with my little boy or with my little girl. And maybe just try and do this at home, because it'll get you into that mindset. Don't ever tell them, ever, that you didn't have time. So I'll run out through a situation. It's like, hey, Daddy, were you able to download that application on my phone? He always asks me every single night, Daddy, did you download that game for me? And I always come home and say, sorry, boy, I didn't have time. So tonight when I go home, if he asks me that, I'm going to try and get this out of my mouth, and it's going to be very difficult. I'm going to try and say, sorry, Thomas, but Daddy didn't prioritize you today. It's really, really difficult, but when you start thinking like that, you start realizing that it's never about time. We all have the same amount of time. It's who or what we are prioritizing in our day, and this is going to really, really help us in terms of being more effective with our time. So prioritize the important things and start drifting out on those activities or tasks that really aren't going to add a lot to you or your day. I hope you've enjoyed it. Hit me up with some questions if you need, and I look forward to hearing from you.